Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is another episode of Nufftingz Speaks with your host, Nufftingz. Today's a sad day. Um, I really don't want to talk about this because it's just why these things shouldn't happen. But I have some notes here that I'm going to read out and then I'm going to give my opinion on it at the end. So, Charlie Kirk shooting at Utah Valley University. So September 11th, 2025 is when I'm talking about it, but it happened yesterday. Location, Utah Valley University. Victim, once again, Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA. And the event that he was speaking at was American Comeback Tour, a campus Q&A session. So here's what happened. During a live speaking event on UVA campus, Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck while standing at a podium engaging in a prove me wrong style dialogue. Witnesses say the shot came from a building 200 yards away, likely from a rooftop or elevated location. He was immediately transported to the hospital, where he later succumbed to his injuries. The campus was placed on lockdown and the event was canceled, obviously. This wasn't a brawl, protest, or confrontation. It was a distant, deliberate shot described by Utah's officials as a political assassination. That's what makes it very terrifying. All right, so let's talk about who was Charlie Kirk. Age 31, conservative political commentator, founder of Turning Point USA, a prominent right-wing youth organization. Frequently criticized left-wing policies, education systems, and government overreach. Highly controversial figure, praised and hated in equal measure depending on political leaning. So, talking point again, whether you liked him or not, this is not a public figure. This was a public figure shot during a speech. This sets a scary precedent for what's acceptable disagreement in this era. All right, so what we know about the shooter, which is very vague, no official suspect has been publicly identified. 2 individuals were detained temporarily, then released without charges. Authorities are investigating surveillance footage and forensic evidence from rooftops and nearby buildings. Utah governor stated bears all the marks of political terrorism. It's easy to speculate about this, but no one truly knows yet who did it or why. Until there's evidence, we're only working on emotion. Now, mind you, there's going to be more stuff today, so we'll know more about this. So, political reactions. Leaders from both parties condemned the shooting, stressing the importance of civil discourse over violence. Some conservative voices are calling this a targeted attack against free speech. Others are urging people not to escalate the rhetoric before investigation finish. When even people on opposite sides agree something went too far, we should listen. If violence becomes normalized, nobody's speech is safe. So what's still unconfirmed? No motive has been confirmed. No weapon has been recovered. No official charges have been filed. No statement from the shooter, if even identified. No links to specific political groups yet. It is also good to remember emotion doesn't equal confirmation. We can grieve, feel angry, or be scared, but spreading false claims only deepens division. Final thoughts. This could have happened at any campus, to any speaker. The question isn't, do I agree with him? It's if this is the world we want to live in, where ideas are silenced with a scope and a bullet. All right. So now here's my thoughts on it. So I didn't hear about this till later on. I was extremely busy this morning, but even my kids heard about this, right? They knew who he was. One of my kids would watch him. The other one didn't really know him, but he knew who he was, right? Thing is, I knew who he was. I used to watch his stuff, but I used to always see clips of him on TikTok, and like it would pop up on my feed, and he was very strong opinionated. And you know what? I got that comment today at a meetup where someone said to me that they listened to my channel and I'm very strongly opinionated on my stuff. And then this person says to me, you grew up in Mississauga, so I understand. I sort of didn't only grow in Mississauga. But my point is, someone else also said to me that you better be careful when Nufftingz speaks because you might be in the same boat as him, as Charlie. And it's like, bro, so you're telling me, right, that having an opinion that doesn't go with everybody else means that you should get attacked in any way? And, I've noticed something about the world. People just don't have rules anymore. People don't have, I don't know. When I say people, I don't mean everybody, but a lot of people now, they don't have any rules. They don't have any, what's the word here? Like, there's no dignity. Like, there's no respect for people. Like, I mean, we hear now that, all these people get killed over nothing. Like, look at rappers. Rapper can go into a Popeyes and just get shot. I remember growing up that whenever there was issues with people, you argued. If it got to violence, you never touch families, you never do this, you never do that. And, people didn't really broadcast their feelings about stuff. Now, I noticed today I was in a group, I'm in a group for streaming, and somebody had a stream up and they posted the video and were giving their condolences about what happened. Because the video was up there. I saw it today where they show him talking and then, the bullet hits him and, people are running away, running for the hills. I also saw that they took somebody in and then that wasn't the person. But this person on the streaming, in their stream, they posted the video and were just giving their condolences. And then someone else that was in the group, one of the admins, jumps into their stream and starts to harass them and threaten them and tell them, they hope they die and whatever. And it's like, no matter what your feelings on this man, he had a family. I saw the picture. I think he had a son or a daughter, or he probably had both. He had a loving wife, and he was only 31 years old, and him having an opinion and in his eyes wanting to change the world to make it better to live in for his kids. Why would somebody want to hurt somebody like that? And it's like, it's been such a crazy week. Like, even that whole thing with the lady that was on the bus and the guy stabbed her and nobody helped her. And I thought to myself, yo, what are we doing? When I was a kid, if someone fell down, people would run to them and help them. Like, I see people now, someone will fall and nobody will help. And I understand too, like, I've seen people fall down at Square One by my house. And like, it'll be like an elderly lady and she'll just, like, her ankle will give out and she'll fall. Like, this really happened like 2 months ago. And all these people just walked past. They didn't care. But one guy went up to her and helped her up. And then people are like, well, I'm not getting involved because what if she calls the police on me? And I mean, I get it, but something's wrong with society when it comes to, like, we don't help one another. Like, someone gets in an accident, people might rob them, and, it's like, why? Like, it just seems to me like we just don't love each other anymore. And I mean, I get it. People are crazy now. That's what people say. But, it's like, I've seen people fall down flat on their face and people are just laughing at them. And it's like, dude, I've seen people walking down the street and their groceries break out of their bag. And instead of people helping, they're just laughing. Like, hee, it's funny. Like, what happened to helping your fellow man? I mean, dude, like, it just seems so bad to me. Like, we could have, like, we're all not supposed to agree on the same things. We're supposed to have our opinions. So you're telling me that if my opinion doesn't go with yours, I deserve bodily harm? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, what, my kids have to be worried because daddy has an opinion? Like, why? That's terrible. Like that's something that that's barbaric. Like, did we go back to barbarian times when it's like, oh, look, food? Like, is that what we went back to now? What about, like we've all matured. We're all more intelligent now than we were 5,000 years ago. Why can't we just be mature people? And I've noticed, and this is my opinion, but I've seen a difference in people ever since COVID. Ever since COVID, people have really lost their mind. Like, I swear, there's more mental health now than before COVID. It was always there, but it's like now it's so much problems. Like, you're telling me that you can't go on the bus now without worrying about someone blading you? You can't go to a school, and mind you, this is a school with children, not children, but young adults, right? What if his kids were there? What if his wife was there? Like, it's like, dude, where is your respect? Where, like, so, okay, fine. You got to pop him. Okay, fine. But, I don't know. I just can't, there's nothing I can really say right now that makes any sense because it's such a terrible thing. Like, we as people in North America shouldn't be walking outside and being worried about our lives. This is what you see in other countries, right? We're supposed to be better than that. I'm not saying the other countries are worse than us. I'm saying, we don't have bars on our windows. When I go to Jamaica, every house has bars on the windows. There's police corruption. There's all this other stuff. But, like, we don't have that problem. It's going to get to that point, but why is that? Everybody's having a hard time surviving. I get it. But that doesn't give us the right to do bad things to people because we're sad or where our lives have gone to shit. Like, we should be better than that. You know what I'm saying? For every dark night, there's a bright day after that. Why can't we just work on ourselves and do better and have respect for people and their opinions? If you have an opinion and I don't agree with it, we're going to debate and then have a drink after. It's not like I'm going to like, yo, we got to fight over this. Like, for what? It's stupid. I don't know. Anyways, my condolences to his family. I'm extremely sad for them because, like, if he had just stayed home, and was like a 9 to 5 job guy, he'd be fine, right? But he believed in something and he spoke up on it. And at least, his face will be forever online. And, if you don't agree with it and you hate me for what I'm saying, that's fine. But, I'm looking at it more as like a father and him being a young dude and a young father, and his kid's going to miss out on him. He's going to miss out on his kids. It's just wrong. It's terrible. And, my heart goes out to his family. I hope that they can deal with it properly and move on. But I know it's going to be hard for them, and I just feel for them. So anywho, that's my thoughts on this terrible situation, and hopefully we don't hear any more bad news for a while and everybody just chills out. All right, I'll see you in the next video.